Hello, and welcome to bonus episode number 16, allegedly, of the Book Wars Pod.
Are there secret bonus episodes?
I don't know.
Is there a secret menu?
Oh my god, stop.
Do our bonus menus animal style?
I was about to say, that would be weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That sounds gross.
There's some grilled onions on there.
That sounds disgusting. Why are you like this?
Book Wars Pod now with extra grilled onions.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, theoretically, we're here not to talk about burgers, but to talk about the Star Wars Celebration, which was Chris's and my first celebration. And we are here with Jess, yay, from Lousy Beautiful Town Pod. So,
hi.
Yay! Best hotel roommate ever. Was this your first celebration too, Jess, or have you been to others?
No, I went to Anaheim
by
myself, but I didn't stay like the whole weekend. So this was my first like full-fledged celebration in a hotel room with a bunch of friends. So it was great.
Great, and also nap-orific, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Well, we had a pretty good nap room, so it worked.
We
out.
did. we were all very respectful of our napping needs. Yes. It was great.
Yeah, we were all very like on each other's schedule. Like,
yes, which was excellent.
We all napped at the same time. We all didn't nap at the same time.
Yep.
So for those of you who were not in the nap room for celebration, it was
which is all of you listening except for Shannon.
It's true, exactly. We were sharing a room
those
with
of you,
Jess and Shannon. Well, I don't. Listen, I'm really tired. It is Friday. I say I'm really tired. Don't ask me what time I woke up today because I don't know if my boss ever decides to listen to this podcast, but we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, even for you, I was like, I had not received a text from you. I'm like, is she okay?
Oh, I was fine.
I know you were fine.
Very unconscious. I did all my work. You can't at me.
There you go.
Guys, if I weren't quitting my job already, I'd probably be fired. It's fine. But first the fucks. What are we drinking? Chris, you're drinking nothing.
I'm drinking nothing because I still have the con crud. Not as bad as some people did. I did not get the flu or pneumonia, which apparently are both things that were going around.
Yes.
Who got pneumonia?
A couple Tashi folks got the flu, and one of them got pneumonia on top of it.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I know.
Yeah. So, like,
yeah.
I'm sorry that I didn't see any Tashi folks last night at the con, but I'm also kind of not.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, just avoided them breathing on you.
Yeah.
You only got whatever the hell I got, which, honestly, who knows where the hell I got my cold, because I was coming from a work conference in St. Louis. So I was 3 planes in 5 days. Don't recommend.
Yeah. No, I just have a cold that I have definitely made worse by going to work anyway. It's fine.
America.
I have an office. I'm not breathing on anyone.
America, where you don't have any fucking sick time. Jess, are you?
Am I drinking?
Yes.
I'm drinking Anderson Valley Blood Orange Ghosts.
Ooh, yum. I love that one.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's like the Kimmy the Ink and the Holy Ghosts?
No. There's a bear on the can with some antlers on it. That's all I
love
got.
It. Fair.
I love it. Dude,
I did not get con cred. I just lost my voice, so I'm very pleased that I was able to, well, not pleased that I was able to go to work, but that I didn't get sick like everybody else.
Yes, you are alive. I didn't have, well, I don't know if I didn't have a voice or it just sounded like I'd been chain smoking for 40 years, but it wasn't great. I think I still sound a little bit funny, but
it was, I don't think it was quite as bad as you thought it was. I think it sounded worse to you.
I sounded weird to myself. I was just like, I don't even want to talk.
It wasn't as bad, not
to
to yours, like okay. to other people.
Okay, well, it was like, I don't know, just going through fucking puberty or something. It was bad. Okay. I don't know where I am in this outline. It's Friday.
The start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, oh Jesus, Chris made me do the intro.
Kate, what are you drinking?
Oh shit, what am I drinking? Oh my god. I like went to Star Wars Celebration and then my brain broke and now I don't know how to podcast anymore, guys.
Jess is just sitting over there being like, whose podcast is this?
Fuck. I am drinking some of the tequila we got in Mexico. Chris has definitely had this on the podcast before. It's the Blanco.
The
I don't.
Los Abuelos?
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Whatever it's
think.
called. I don't read labels. It just tastes good.
I'm
So
pretty
I
sure
drink
it's
it.
the Los Abuelos.
It tastes good, so I poured a whole lot in a glass, and now I'm having some. It's also really hot here, so wasn't in the mood
It's
for
weird.
anything
It's
super heavy.
It's not that hot. It's fucking humid. It's thunderstorming.
It is swamp time in DC. We are very happy that we are moving.
Swamp time and tequila sounds like a good time.
I know, exactly. That's also why I didn't want to go outside. I was just like, it's raining. I'm gonna get swamp ass. Like, no thanks. What? It's a thing. Don't laugh at me, Chris.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Anyway, this is the first episode this week that we're doing 2 bonus episodes this week as you're hearing it. This is dropping on Tuesday, hopefully, and then Thursday we are dropping, we and Keeks and Miranda will be doing a breakdown of all the trailers that we saw, 9 and also, Jedi Fallen Order. We got a little Vader Immortal teaser thingamabob. We got a little behind the scenes stuff of The Mandalorian. I don't actually know that they've...
Clone Wars.
Yes,
too.
the Clone Wars. Jesus Christ, duh. I don't actually know that they've released the official footage, like, of the behind the scenes shit for The Mandalorian.
No,
online.
they haven't, and I'm gonna complain about it.
Okay, because I was looking on YouTube for, like, links to, like, give to Keeks and Miranda so they would have them all in one place, and all I got was, like, the bootleg, like, here's my cell phone camera, I'm just gonna record the big giant screen.
No, they didn't release, like, any of it. It's so weird.
That is weird.
It's
but
so weird.
okay.
Whatever.
That's fine. But then after that, we will be starting Twilight Company by Alexander Freed. But right now, let's talk about Celebration.
Yeah, so I wanted to start with...
Yeah, Chris made this outline. I actually, for once in my life in the past 6 months, I did not write this outline. Thank God. Which I might be regretting actually, because Chris is so sick. But whatever.
Right?
We're all loopy. Go on.
So I wanted to just talk about, like... I don't know, I figured this would be a fairly freewheeling podcast as opposed to our usual regimented quality content.
Fuck.
But I don't know, I wanted to talk about everybody's, like, favorite Star Wars Celebration moments. And so, like, just first of all, starting with, like, the content and stuff that we saw. Like,
Yeah.
What, of everything that we were shown, what were you all most excited about that we saw this weekend?
Guess first.
Honestly, it's a tie between the Mandalorian stuff and the Episode 9 trailer, because that Episode 9 trailer was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Definitely. I went into this con being pretty excited about everything that I was kind of like hopefully like gonna get to see, and I think we covered all the bases more or less. There wasn't really a lot of like actual news, I feel like, that came out, but it was mostly like we announced.
They told us nothing.
They told us almost nothing.
Hey, we got a title.
It's true.
That's true. We got a title for a movie that comes out in 6 months. That is literally all we got out of Star Wars Celebration in terms of news.
Listen, to be fair, and we'll probably talk about this more in Miranda Geeks, if they had released that title without the trailer, everyone would have been like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense.
So, yeah.
I
I'm
have a
kind
lot of
glad.
feelings about how that trailer was released and the content of that trailer, and how I wouldn't have been excited for probably any of it had it been released beforehand, not in trailer form. So.
Wait, no, I completely agree. So, like, for me, because I'm very much the same way, I think the 9 trailer was the highlight in terms of my excitement.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to be honest, so I really loved Last Jedi. Is every time I watch it, I love it more. Like,
Hashtag Last Jedi awful.
yeah, exactly. But
Sorry.
so and that's after I like enjoyed Force Awakens, but it didn't really do anything particularly for me personally. And so like, but loving Last Jedi so much, I was kind of like, all right, and then we'll do 9 and it'll be good. And like, I'll still like, I will have my movie from this trilogy, and like 9 will be good, it'll be Star Wars, I'll love it, but like I have 8, so like whatever happens, it'll be fine. So I was like not excited about 9, but like I don't know that I was like actively front of mind, like super like pumped for it yet. And boy, did that change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Totally. Totally agree with that. For me, aside from the excitement with 9, definitely. Actually, sidebar, because we never do that. I, as I was saying before, I arrived at Celebration. I was at a work conference in St. Louis, and it's a conference that like my company puts on, so I had to like actually like work. And so I was like standing at a cash register, like checking people out from buying like the books we publish and like other like idiot ass t-shirts and stuff like that. And my coworker literally puts his phone next to my ear as I am checking out this poor hapless nice lady, and he just starts blaring the fucking 9 trailer because he knows I'm waiting for it. And I was just like, I was standing in front of this person, and had like my like polite face on, which believe it or not exists with me. And I just turn around and I'm just like, dude, if you don't get that thing out of my face, I'm going to turn around and punch you. Give me 5 minutes, man. Like, and this lady was like very alarmed. I was just like, I'm sorry, it's the trailer for the new Star Wars movie. She's like, okay, and I'm like, just have a nice. It's gonna cost you this much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
You do a science. You get it.
I know, but like, I don't know. She was just like, she's just kind of like she was also. I mean, it's a conference, so she was also like this mixture of like exhausted and confused, and also just like, what the fuck? And anyway, so my coworker has to like pull me over to a corner for me to watch this trailer because like he started playing it for me, and I started like making muffled screaming noises, and I just was like scaring even more people like who were trying to like check out. So he had to like drag me to a corner so I could do all my like screaming and jumping up and down. So yeah, no, I was pretty excited. The only thing I'm sad about was that I wasn't able to like be at House Finalizer for the 9 panel brunch that y'all had.
Yeah, I was live tweeting it from the brunch stage, as we called it. By as we called it, I mean as I called it, unilaterally.
You're the worst.
But no, it was like so we've never watched. Me and Kate have never watched like first viewing of a Star Wars trailer with people. Mm-hmm. No, that's a lie. We saw Solo during the Super Bowl, but that didn't really count.
Yeah, we were with people who didn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, but like, so like, I remember when the TLJ trailer came out 2 years ago at Celebration, it was just me and Kate, like, kind of hyperventilating, but it was like just us.
Right, and I mean, us hyperventilating over Star Wars, a day that ends in Y.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, it was very... Like, it was kind of surreal because, like, everybody was silent for it. Like, we all loved, like, seeing everybody. The panel itself, the episode 9 panel that came before it was, like, fairly well choreographed in that we, got to talk to everybody. Kelly Marie Tran got her moment, which was amazing.
Oh, thank God.
And, like, then, like, they hadn't told us the title yet, and so we knew the trailer was coming. Colbert was there, which was weird.
It was fine.
It was fine. Exactly. It was fine.
Oh my God.
But like, I don't know. Like it turned it into like such a moment, and like being with people who were like also freaking out about it, and particularly like obviously the big twist, if a trailer can have a twist, was the Palpatine laugh, and like everybody just started freaking out.
Yeah, Katrina on Twitter actually filmed a reaction video of us at the brunch watching the trailer, and like Southern Cynic started crying after Palpatine's laugh because she was just like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" We're all just like, "What the fuck is happening?" Oh, it was a good moment. It was probably one of my favorite moments of the entire weekend, to be honest.
Oh no, it was fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm really glad that Katrina recorded that so I could just like have that secondhand, like, being there with y'all, because I couldn't actually be there. Y'all have no idea how angry I was when I was just like, yay, Star Wars Celebration. Does this overlap with my conference? Fuck! Like, it was the worst. Anyway, but, just as you were saying, I think definitely the other thing I'm really excited for now is The Mandalorian. Like, I was interested in it, and I was, like, excited by the cast, and then they showed us all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And you were actually, like, in the panel, so I'll let you talk about that in a hot second. But,
yeah.
like, but, like, getting to, like, see how much, like, money they're throwing at it. Like, it's like, oh, you're doing this right, you know, like they built everything by hand and it looks like Star Wars. Like, everything looks like gross and dirty, and like we're definitely in like the like underworld, backwater, whatever the fuck, criminal atmosphere. So I'm very into that. But Jess, you got pulled into the actual panel at the Wintrust Arena at the last minute.
Yeah. So it's funny because I had like, I mean, all of us, none of us got into any panel lotteries because we applied as a group, and they were like, nope, you guys can't go. And so I was kind of like, I had my expectations set very low. I was like, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to see anything, but I'm still going to have fun. So Shannon and I were actually walking over to the Star Wars show stage to watch the panel with everybody else that couldn't get in. And we ran into Joey, our friend Joey Howe on Twitter, or How Joey? I can't remember what his exact name is. Sorry, Joey. And his friend that was with him, Eric, was like, hey, my wife and kid were supposed to come with us to this panel, so we have 2 extra tickets. Do you want to come with us? And we were like literally in the Sky Bridge walking from the Marriott into the convention center, and like the Wintrust walkway was like 3 feet away from us, and we're like, okay. Like, it was snowing, and it started snowing, so we're like running through the snow to get there. Like, it was so surreal. It was amazing. Like, that day just, I mean, there was a lot of ups and downs that day, but like, we also had the Rep Matters panel that day, so it was like, okay, what if they like show stuff and I'm gonna have to run over to the panel? I was like, I don't care, this is worth it. I think I put in our group chat for the Rep Matters panel, I was like, sorry guys, I got into the Mandalorian, so if I'm late, oh well, good luck.
Those were not wrong priorities. So.
See you when I get there. But no, it was like the extra footage that they showed us that apparently no one else got to see was so cool. It wasn't exactly a trailer. It was almost like a whole scene from maybe like the first episode or something. It was the Mandalorian, who is Pedro Pascal, getting a job from Carl Weathers, who plays this like underworld like boss guy. And so he's getting like a bounty hunter job to go find somebody. And then like, so you have like a whole scene of that, and then there's like a Lucasfilm logo cut, and then it goes into this like montage of just different random scenes from the show that they had ready, I'm guessing. And yeah, so we got like a full scene, and then everything else was just like a mishmash of whatever they had to throw together to show us. And oh my god, it's stunning. Like you said, Kate, it's like super dirty, Star Warsy looking. It's like Tatooine, like cantina looking, like there's tons of aliens, there's so many aliens. It looks so yes, I know, which I was super excited about. Like, there's stormtroopers that Werner Herzog is like some underworld dude, and he has all these stormtroopers that are like beat up and dirty, like they don't look shiny and pristine, like they look like they've been through some shit. Like, it's so cool looking, like just based on how it looks. And oh my god, the Mandalorian's costume looks so cool too. And he has that like crazy weapon thing that I don't know what it's called, but someone had made one in the audience, and I was like, god, Star Wars fans are crazy.
Yes.
Like, there's just and just the excitement from Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and just like the entire cast that was on stage. I mean, it was Pedro Pascal, Carl Weathers, and I forget her name, Gina
Carano, I want to say.
Carano, yeah, Gina Carano. Her character name confused me, so I'm getting them confused. Her last name is like Dune, which I was like, wait, like Doom, like Caleb Doom, but it's Dune.
I fucking wish.
I know, it's very confusing. Anyway, she looked awesome too, and just and she was like, she's new to the Star Wars family. I mean, they're all new to the Star Wars family, but she was just especially taken aback by like the welcome and how big and crazy and like positive and loving everybody is, and how excited everybody is. Yeah, it was really sweet.
That's fucking awesome.
But just the excitement from the creators was palatable. So it got me super pumped, and we don't know really anything about the show except for what they revealed at the panel. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to go. That was like the one thing that I really wanted to go to. So I'm glad I got pulled in there at the last second.
Totally.
Awesome.
And so I was gonna say words and then they fell out of my head, which is so very helpful when you're doing a podcast.
It's all right. We're not all 100% here.
No, we're really not.
Really not.
We are quite loopy. One of the things I did want to point out was so Chris and I, bless our fucking souls, we're doing a Game of Thrones rewatch before season 8 came out, and so Chris has watched the entire series before, but I had not seen most of it, and so I missed season whatever the hell it is where Oberyn Martell is a person. And I swear to God, that fight scene between him and the Mountain is just might as well have been his audition tape for The Mandalorian, I feel like.
Right?
Like, he's gonna be so fucking good, and I'm so like, first of all, he fucking loves Star Wars. Like, he was like so like we got to see a little bit of the panel before they cut it off of her. They showed you the super exclusive footage, but like him just like finding it, like telling us how he felt when he got cast, and he was just like could not like believe it, like had to go lie on the floor, which is like the sweetest thing. Like, he fucking loves Star Wars, and also he's an amazing actor, and I feel like he's gonna like this. He's really gonna nail it. So I'm pumped.
It's funny because I feel like this is like of any Star Wars project the one that has the most established names going in, because like I feel like Star Wars, the whole thing is like they're all new people, right? But like Pedro Pascal is like, you know, he's not like super known, but people like in, you know, people who pay attention to casting and acting and things like that know him from Game of Thrones, from Narcos. Like he's a known guy. And like Gina Carano, I think, is relatively new. I know she was an MMA fighter, but I think she's relatively newish to acting.
She was in
Was she in Fast and Furious?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Yes, she was in Deadpool. Yes. Yeah. And then Carl Weathers is like obviously Carl Weathers, who like I feel like our generation doesn't understand how big a person Carl Weathers is, because I feel like we only know him from like Arrested Development. But like
God bless. Jesus.
Is he going to be making a stew in The Mandalorian? Who knows?
Please stop.
But like Carl Weathers is like a really big get. And so like I feel like it's going to be really interesting to see how these people who like we know, frankly, like we've seen them in stuff before, how it's going to like affect how we see them in The Mandalorian. Because like no one ever seen Daisy Ridley or John Boyega before. Oscar Isaac, yes. But like nobody had seen Daisy or John Boyega or Mark or Harrison or Carrie for the most part. Like, so it's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like the only person we've really had the experience with is just being like, wait, Forrest Whitaker is in a Star Wars. But other than
actually
that,
though, yeah.
Oh, but things like, you know, like Samuel L. Jackson, like
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And stuff like that.
That's
I
true.
do have certain feelings about this show having a lot of well-known people associated with it. I mean, I'm glad it's like people of color that are well-known and associated with it, but and like the director's list is great. I'm just I don't know. I have mixed feelings about so many things in representative wise and inclusion wise with this show, and just kind of how the panel went. Like, it was a lot of talking from Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, which I mean, they are, you know, Dave Filoni is like notorious for being very tight-lipped about everything, and God, so I think that's kind of why they kind of took control, because the actors were like, I don't know what I can say, like looking at him.
Right.
Don't want to fall off Filoni's trust tree.
Jesus Christ.
Right. But yeah, so it was a lot of white dudes talking, but I was like, okay, I understand why, but like I want to hear from these people that like we don't normally get to hear from, and it's like the first live-action Star Wars television show ever, like. But it's, I don't know, like they have a good list of people going. I don't know. I don't have a complete thought about this. I just have mixed feelings.
No, I definitely share your mixed feelings. Like I definitely know what you're trying to say. Like I think I'm like cautiously optimistic. I'm just hoping that Filoni doesn't pull like maximum Filoni and decide to, you know, just do whatever the fuck weird ass crazy shit that he wants.
Yeah.
Like, kill like Carl Weathers and Pedro Pascal like in the first episode or something like that. Like
yeah, I could definitely do without that shit.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. So for like me, as opposed to Jess, who got pulled into the panel, me and Kate missed the beginning of the panel because we were in the show storyline, which was fine. We expected to. But then we went to the exhibit floor, and for those who weren't following over the weekend, they had a big stage where the Star Wars show was broadcasting live or streaming live all weekend, and they were like piping the Mandalorian feed into there, but they actually cut off the feed before they showed all the content. And that actually kind of annoyed me, just because I was like, I get if you're not going to put it on the live stream online, but like we all paid the same ticket price, so that actually like kind of left me with like a little bit of a weird taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And kept me from getting quite as excited about this as I want to, just because like I don't know anything about it now. Like I'm with you two. I think this could be really cool. It always makes me nervous whenever white men creators or white men critics or people who have seen it say things like, this is the way Star Wars should be. Like
Yes.
that is a huge red flag for me, and I've gotten a lot of that with The Mandalorian, and it's not a bad thing. Like, Solo was, you know, quote unquote the way Star Wars should be, and there's a lot of good things and bad things you could say about Solo, but I enjoyed it. So like I'm confident I'll enjoy The Mandalorian, but like that's always a little bit of a red flag for me, and neither Favreau nor Filoni is well known for their nuanced takes on representation in their casting and plot lines.
Or
Right.
like you know, I haven't absorbed it probably as much as Favreau's work as Filoni's, but like Filoni's not also well known for making things necessarily super accessible to people in terms of, you know, creating entry points. I feel like.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
Star Wars.
I think there's absolutely a reason Filoni did not get this show in
Yeah.
himself.
Actually, Favreau talked a lot on the panel about this. Like, if you are a Star Wars fan from 1977 or you're an original trilogy fan, you will enjoy this show because there's so many things that you'll recognize. But it's also new stuff, like a new storyline, all new characters. Like, there's stuff for everybody. And like you said, like Filoni's not generally known for having good entry points. So maybe I think you're absolutely right. That's why John Favreau is like a fan, like a lifelong fan. Like he
For
talked
sure.
about how he's been working on this show for years, trying
Wow.
to pitch it to Kathleen Kennedy.
Damn.
And so this is like his baby. So I think Filoni is there as like a consultation role and like as a writer probably to like add in storytelling elements, but like this is definitely going to be a John Favreau show for sure.
Okay, good. It's really encouraging for me to hear that, just because I mean, Filoni is a student of George Lucas in every single way, including getting himself tied up in his own fucking like weird Force shit nuts. So
Yeah, I feel like Filoni gets in his way his own way
Yes.
sometimes.
I mean,
exactly right. I think, yeah.
it was funny because we were at the Rebels panel, which didn't have any news or anything, but it was just a fun panel.
Yeah.
And I think the first guy to ask a question, which never have questions at big panels, just don't do it. But
know, right?
they did, and the first guy to ask a question was this like fanboy who was very much like, I think I speak for everybody here when I say, you know, thank you for everything you've done, and we see you as the spiritual successor to George Lucas.
I was like, great.
And I'm like,
can I
I don't think that's the compliment you think it is.
I know. I was like, how far can I whip my shoe to hit this guy in the head? But anyway.
But yeah, so it's because you're exactly right. Like, he is, for better or worse, he is George Lucas's, you know, creative son. Mm-hmm. And that comes with incredible vision about the Star Wars universe, and it also comes with a little bit of an inability to tell a story in a straight line.
Yep. Just a little bit.
And I feel like there's I mean, I don't want this to become a Filoni discussion podcast, but
I accidentally do this a lot, honestly, so it's fine.
I have a lot of feelings. I feel like too, like, and I could be just like completely, you know, head up my ass talking through this, but I feel like too he gets obsessed with certain characters, and he
Ahsoka.
yeah, and like you kind of like I understand like writers like loving your characters and having a hard time letting go of them, or having a hard time like figuring out how to make their story like good and right, but if you're working in like a really big franchise like this, you kind of got to do that because
Yeah.
like, there's other characters out there that people want to see other than just one, even though we love her, but
Right.
yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, Filoni's noted favorite characters, Ahsoka and not Hera.
Yeah.
Womp womp womp.
No, it's funny because this discussion started because Jess is so excited about The Mandalorian. But no, like, honestly, like, it looks, what we saw of it looks, like,
looks
the production
phenomenal.
value does look, you know, to use
Oh,
the
it's-
phrase that makes me nervous, like Star Wars should. It looks incredible.
It feels like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, it feels
It
like
looks-
it fits.
It looks like a film. Like, you know how Game of Thrones a lot of times has that like very film quality to it, like where it's like sweeping scenes across like landscapes and just like the quality of set and costume. That's what this feels like. It
Yes.
looks really like they spent a lot of money. And it was a good thing. Oh,
Yeah.
also a really cool thing, like if anyone listening didn't watch the stream of the panel afterwards, they used actual 501st members to fill in for stormtroopers on set because they didn't have enough uniforms or actors to play stormtroopers.
That's really
So-
cool.
So fucking
so
cool.
cool. That made me so happy.
It was so baller. That is part of the panel that we caught, and I loved them being like they were like into it. Like they were like more
Yeah.
professional than like a lot of actors they've worked with or something to that effect. It's
Yeah, they were like, like, we didn't even need to give them direction. We were just like, oh, just go over there and be a stormtrooper, and they're like, on it.
Yeah, and they were
Dude.
saying that like their costumes are of like higher quality than some of the costumes that they have on set as well, which I thought was
I buy that.
It's
I do too.
hysterical. Yeah, no, absolutely. And also, you know, as if you've been listening to the podcast for all, you know, that y'all will know that Chris and I are part of the 501st, and those people are crazy. Usually in a
yeah.
good way, sometimes not. Chris can tell you about the years-long fight about the costume requirements list for Kylo.
Oh my god. I'm not going to tell the story, but just know that, so, like, the 501st has different divisions based on what your
Costume
is. So, like, Stormtroopers are one division.
He's in the Sith Lord division because
So, yeah, I have my Revenge of the Sith evil Anakin pre-lava costume, and the head of the Sith Lord division literally quit when over the argument that broke out over the Kylo Ren CRL. Literally quit. It's nuts, and that's a discussion for another time.
It is, but anyway.
So can I steer this conversation a little bit?
No.
Toward not quite the opposite direction that I anticipated it would be, but
Fine.
more toward the question of, was there anything that you were excited about going in and are less so now?
Fallen Order.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, I
end.
want to take this
Sorry.
one first. I'm very worried about Jedi Fallen Order.
Like, like, contrary to what you might believe, I don't enjoy shitting on things. I really don't, though. I want things to be nice so everyone
What
can
about
be
me?
happy. Oh, yeah, that's different. I mean, come on. No, I'll let you go to your tear first, because as a video game person.
Yeah, you're a video game person too. I have a longer history with video games.
Whatever.
So Fallen Order, for those who don't know, is the upcoming video game for, I know, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I think that's it. It's coming from EA. It's
Which,
releasing.
God bless.
It is allegedly releasing this November. We had not seen anything of it before this weekend, before, you know, the trailer and the panel, and they gave us a pretty extensive story trailer and like introduced us to the characters and everything. And if you didn't see the trailer, definitely go watch it. But my first reaction was, why are they making a video game of A New Dawn but not with Kanan?
Thank you.
Like, dude's name is literally Cal.
For Christ's sakes. Do you
He's somebody who
understand?
escaped the massacre
I was so
and
angry.
outed himself when he, like, saved somebody with, like, instinct saved somebody with the Force during a construction accident. It's literally out of A New Dawn by John Jackson Miller.
Right, like, maybe not New Dawn specifically, but definitely out of Kanan's past. Like, he
Yeah.
specifically said this is a thing that has happened to him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I don't know,
And then-
just like, sorry, go ahead.
No, and also, like, after the, like, diversity win that was Battlefront 2, decided to just go back to making it a white dude.
Yeah, just everything about it was underwhelming
Like,
to me.
fucking fuck.
Everything about that trailer was underwhelming to me.
I know.
I was so excited to actually have a cool single player Star Wars game that wasn't an MMO, and I am also very disappointed because I don't know. I feel like Star Wars games are just not for me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
pretty
be.
bummed about.
It's
Yeah.
gonna like it could be really good. It still has a lot of potential. You know, the main antagonist is gonna be Second Sister, who is an Inquisitor.
Seventh sister. You
Second
putz.
Sister. Second Sister. It's
What?
Second Sister. It's
Is
not
it?
Seventh Sister.
Okay.
It is
Somebody told me specifically.
Someone told you wrong.
Who lied to me? I'm gonna find them.
It's Second Sister, who was introduced by Charles Soule in the latest Darth Vader Marvel run.
Excuse the fuck.
There will be Purge troopers, also who are inquisitorial troopers, also introduced by Charles Soule. The graphics look beautiful. We'll see what the gameplay's like. I feel like the gameplay is very much going to make or break this because, like, I feel like Battlefront 2, it's the opposite problem that Battlefront 2 had, whereas, like, Battlefront 2, you knew it was going to be a shooter, and there's really only so many ways you can fuck up a shooter, and so it was really all about the story. And this, I feel like, I don't know, I have no, like, maybe it'll change, maybe they'll release other trailers, and the first trailer just wasn't a good representation, or they were trying to be sneaky with it. But I have no interest in the story based on that trailer.
Which I feel really bad about. But
I do too, because we've talked on this podcast before about what an interesting medium games can be for this franchise. And I came out of that trailer, like, out of watching that trailer, like, thinking to myself, why did this story need to be told? Again.
yeah.
It didn't.
Oh shit. No, but
Like, we'll
no,
see.
But actually.
We'll see, but that's the initial reaction, and that's not one that's limited to the three of us, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh.
Womp.
I know.
Womp womp.
Seriously.
I will say, on the flip side of that, I am cautiously very excited about Vader Immortal.
Tell us, like, more about your experience with that.
So,
Because I didn't get to go in the Oculus booth.
yeah, so, and Jess, I know that we didn't get to attend the panel because it was, the feed was being weird, and people were still pretty hyped from the Episode 9 trailer, so we weren't paying attention. So the Fallen Order, for those, again, who don't know, or not Fallen Order, excuse me, Vader Immortal is a new VR experience for Oculus Quest, which is a new standalone untethered VR headset. It will also work on Oculus Rift if you have one of those. Although I feel like the list of people who have an Oculus Rift and aren't planning to get an Oculus Quest is, I feel like those circles don't intersect very much.
Nice.
And basically we found out more about the story. You are a smuggler who is captured and taken to Mustafar, and you get in some way trained with a lightsaber to do things for Vader. And that's really all we know so far about the story. But since it's VR, you literally have the headset on and you are surrounded by Mustafar. And the creators and the writers talked a lot in the panel about how, like, it is, kind of as open world as these things get. Like, you will be able to walk through Vader's castle on Mustafar. And I actually got very lucky and managed to get a fast pass ticket to the demo for this, and it was cool. Like, I was like I don't want to say I was very skeptical, because I was excited about this going in at the possibilities, but I went in very eyes open because the graphics aren't great. Like, they're fine, but it's Jedi Fallen Order looks beautiful. This looks like it, would have worked on a PS2, which, like, it's VR. It's a different platform. It's fine.
I noticed that, and I was just like, "Oh, this is interesting." Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So, like, the graphics aren't great. The story, it doesn't look like it's going to be a super story-driven experience. It does have Maya Rudolph, which is interesting. But I came out at, like, I'm not quite a believer because I only played it for 5 minutes, but it was fun. Like, you do feel like you're in the middle of a room training with a lightsaber. Like, and, like, there was a moment where, like, right at the end of it, where, like, Vader kind of comes out of the dark right up to you, and, like, you cringe. Like, even if you, like, obviously one knows that it's VR, but, like, I was like, oh, oh, he's tall and he's right up in my bubble. Okay, this is happening. So I'm cautiously optimistic that might, fill the void in my heart left by what I anticipate being the lack of a good Star Wars single-player video game.
Aw.
I got a great video of you flailing around.
Oh
in
God,
the
I know.
pool.
I'm gonna break so many things playing this game.
Oh God. Wide radius.
That honestly, that is my biggest concern with it, is how is it going to work in a home atmosphere? Because they had me in like a, I don't know, 10 by 10 room doing it, where there's like, it's just open space. And like, but like, I don't, like that room was probably slightly smaller than our living room in our apartment. Like, and there's furniture in our apartment. So like, and when you have that headset on, you can't see anything.
Mm-mm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how many people end up breaking their TVs.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be like when the Wii came out and they had to like put out all these fucking PSAs like,
Jesus.
wear the wristband so you don't throw it at the TV.
Fucking God. I'm just gonna be like grading like people's homework, and I'm just gonna hear a bang and be like, Chris, why?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh my God.
Yo, if we get a dog, that dog is gonna need to learn to not be underfoot.
Oh God.
That poor dog. Aww.
Was there anything else that we are nervous about after Celebration, or are we all just pretty firmly set on Jedi Fallen Order?
Nah. I'm pretty hyped about everything else, honestly.
Yeah, same.
Like,
I am a little confused book wise. What's going on with what is it called?
Project Luminous?
Yes.
Oh, you're not the only one who's confused about that, my friend.
that's the secret. No one knows.
Okay.
Anything.
good. I'm not dumb.
No, you're literally not. It's like Project Luminous is a thing that is happening. Here are the 5 authors involved in it. That's it.
Yeah, and so again, for those who are less online than we are, this one wasn't even streamed, so you could be forgiven for missing it. But in the Lucasfilm Writers Publishing Roundtable and this was on Monday too, so like really all the reasons for this to get buried.
Yeah.
But it was announced that 5 authors, Claudia Gray, author of now 4 Star Wars books, Bloodline, Master and Apprentice, which just came out, Leia, Prince of Alderaan and Lost Stars, Justina Ireland, who wrote Lando's Luck, which is a middle grade book, Dana Jose Older of Last Shot, Cavan Scott, who wrote the Obi-Wan story in From a Certain Point of View and works on the Star Wars Adventures comics with IDW, and then Charles Soule, thank you. Should not forget that. Charles Soule, who has written many comics, among them the Poe Dameron ongoing series and the second run of the Darth Vader series. And it's revealed that they're working on something called Project Luminous. And literally we know 2 things about this. It's coming in 2020, and it has something to do with Obi-Wan's quote about the Force, about it being, I don't remember the exact quote off the top of my head, but it's that the Force is an energy field that connects us, and I don't even remember off the top of my head, but basically about the nature of the Force. And that's all they would tell us. They won't tell us if it's a book, if it's a series of books, if it's
some other shit.
Like, they're all, everybody who I've talked to about this, and I don't have like hashtag sources, but just like talking to friends and talking to people on Twitter, and like just from what people have been tweeting, people who are working on this are really excited about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have inside sources. We might be cool with Tom, but
I asked Tom, and what Tom said is he's really excited about it. That's the extent of our inside source.
Tom is the best at keeping secrets, like, ever.
That's why his hair's so big.
Oh my God, stop.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Didn't expect that one.
Oh,
I feel like we're back in the nap room all over again.
In that you're annoyed? Yes.
Every day of my life. No.
But yeah, so, and actually this is a perfect segue into my next discussion question, which is like, kind of what's your big takeaway from everything we learned at the con about where Star Wars is going in the future? And for me, like, between learning about Project Luminous and learning about the title The Rise of Skywalker, which we'll go into it in our trailer deep dive what I think it means, but I think we're going to get a lot more #weird Force shit in this one. I mean, clearly, because Palpatine's in some nature still alive, still a part of the living Force.
Good lord.
I know, right?
Like,
I know.
yeah, so like I
My
think
wildest dreams.
I know, never.
Seriously.
Have you seen that tweet going around from like 2012 where this
Yes.
dude tried to get like said that 7 would be called The Rise of Skywalker and Palpatine was alive?
Yes, what the fuck? What prescient fan just disappeared off the internet since then?
It's like The Good Place. He just got really high and got 89% of heaven, right?
I was about to say shrooms are crazy. Oh my god.
But so my big takeaway is that as we move toward the end of the Skywalker saga, Star Wars is about to get a lot bigger and a lot more weird, and I'm here for it. Like, I think between that and a lot of the stuff that Charles Soule did in the Darth Vader run, which we don't read comics or promote Marvel comics on this podcast because Marvel's run by not great people.
Racism.
Yeah.
Fascist dickheads, yes.
I will say, without recommending it, that some shit happens in that run, in Soule's Darth Vader run. And, like, I think him working on Project Luminous, Claudia Gray, after reading Master and Apprentice, we're going to have discussions when...
Did you already finish it?
Yeah, I did.
He was off sick on, like, I don't know, Wednesday or something. He just, like, read the whole thing
Yeah,
one
well,
day.
so I got it Monday morning, and
Okay.
I was sitting in line Monday morning, and so I got a couple hours of reading done then, and then on the plane, and then I was sick Wednesday. So
So you actually did get it on Monday morning, like you planned.
I did, yes. Oh
Right?
yeah, I didn't see you afterward. I did get it.
Oh my god. A miracle happened, Jess.
Does somebody want to tell this story so people can laugh at me?
So literally, Friday morning. Okay, I'm gonna wake up really early. This is Chris. I'm gonna wake up really early and go get in line so I can get the exclusive con copy of Master and Apprentice. Friday morning, we wake up at like 9:30. Oh, we're waiting in line. It's taking hours to get inside the con floor. Okay, they're all gone. Okay, Saturday morning, Chris, I'm gonna wake up really early. We used to end up staying out really late Friday night. Doesn't happen. That's fine. I'll wake up on Sunday morning really early. Same thing happens Sunday night or Saturday night. We stay up really late. Finally, my flight got canceled on Sunday, so I had to wake up super early on Monday morning to catch an early flight back to LA. And Chris set his alarm before me to go off at like 5 something so he could go get in line. I set my alarm at 6 and I woke up before he did. It was like, oh, imagine that. Chris is still asleep.
Oh my god.
Listen, I was awake by I was only like 10 minutes behind you out the door.
That's true.
You're
And
still a butthole.
Yeah,
Like,
well.
come on.
but no, and I got the con edition, so I was very excited about that. It's beautiful.
It is. It was also not the one that for what. So thank God it was our regular copy of Master and Apprentice, but it was like
Oh yeah, it got like soaked in
waterlogged.
Yeah, it got like wet somehow in my backpack, but nothing else was wet. I don't know. It's
It
very
was
weird.
weird, but Chris was like, "Oh no, my book got messed up," and I like ran out of the bedroom like, "Is it the con edition?" Because I swear to God.
No, it's the regular edition, which is also beautiful. But
Yes, but I was like, because I was ready to be just like screaming, like this was so. I don't want to say hard fought because it kind of wasn't, because Chris just didn't want to get up, but you know.
yeah,
Literally peak procrastination
Mm-hmm.
every single morning.
I know.
Including the last day of the con. Luckily, if I hadn't got up early, Chris, you would have not gone
I think I would have
slept.
slept through. Yeah, I think you woke me up, and I think I would have slept through.
Chris, you're just, and I know this because I sleep next to you every night. You are so good at turning off your alarm in your sleep.
I know. I don't notice.
It's horrible.
I don't notice.
You just like roll over, and I'll wake up and stuff will happen. You'll just like sit up awake like really suddenly and be like, "What time is it? Did I take my meds?" And I'll be like, "Jesus Christ!"
And the answer is always no.
Every day, nearly every day, every day on the weekend, definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, so to get back to what I was saying, like Claudia Gray, Master and Apprentice, like we're gonna talk about it at some point before Rise of Skywalker comes out. All I'm gonna say is that I have a feeling that this book is required reading before Rise of Skywalker comes
Oh
out.
fuck!
That's all I'm gonna say. A, because it's really good, but also because of some of the lore and weird Force shit in it and background. So all of that combined with the fact that it's called Project Luminous and we know it's something about the Force, the fact that we know that Rian Johnson is in a position to be doing a lot, to have a lot of creative freedom, and we saw that he was really interested in like the Force and the concept of that in The Last Jedi.
Thank God.
I really think that this all adds up to we're going to get a lot of stuff about the Force as soon as the timeline opens up after episode 9, and I'm very excited about it.
I'm so pumped.
I am too. Also, like, I feel like on that note, like, yeah, we're gonna get a lot of weird Force shit, but we're also gonna get a lot of weird, grungy, like, non-Force shit. Like The Mandalorian, possibly, who knows what Fuckface and Fuckface from Game of Thrones are gonna do. Like,
Yes.
probably not weird Force shit, I'm sure.
Oh, man.
Who knows, though? And then, I don't know, like, there's just, like, the video game stuff makes me think that there is gonna be more weird Force shit, too, but, like, sky's the limit, man. Once we get out of the Skywalker timeline, like, anything could happen, and it's great.
Exactly. Like, that's definitely what I feel like my big takeaway is that, like, Star Wars is anyone's oyster, basically, at this point, and the fact that they're leaning in so hard to, you know, doing all kinds of shit all at the same time. You know, like, they're doing TV, they're doing video games, they're, you know, they're doing all kinds of, they're doing so much cool stuff. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Like, there's literally something for everyone.
Yes.
And you don't have to like everything, and it's fine.
exactly, and which is wonderful. Like, I mean, Jesse, listen to our podcast. We talk a lot about all this sort of thing. Like, we're it's a really good time for people who aren't racist dickheads to be a Star Wars fan. So,
I'm really curious, like, how, like, as this stuff gets bigger and bigger, like, what continuity is going to look like. Like, are they going to give up on certain things having continuity with, like, the films, or are we going to try and keep this all tight?
yeah,
Like,
no, it's a great question.
Yeah,
that's a feat.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I think it probably is gonna depend on how far away we get from the Skywalker saga, because I feel like everything around it is kind of like doing the craziest jigsaw puzzle ever. But I mean, we'll fucking see. It's definitely gonna be interesting. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like from where they started with the, you know, when they reset the canon on the books and shit, I think they were initially trying to make it fit more tightly than they are now with, you know, when Last Shot came out. And I think it was, Chris, was it Matt Martin who was talking about the timeline and how they were kind of building themselves trapdoors a little bit,
Yeah.
like wiggle room in there. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be definitely super fascinating.
Yeah, I suspect it's not going to be as big an issue as people think, just because I really do think after we get out of the Skywalker saga, like, there's always going to be something in this timeline. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be The Mandalorian. We know the Cassian show is coming. Like, Rey, Finn, and Poe are not going anywhere. I guarantee you they are going to be in something else
Yay.
within 3 years of Skywalker saga.
Please, God.
But I also firmly believe that, like, and not necessarily, like, not hashtag Knights of the Old Republic, but, like, I do think that Ryan's trilogy and the Game of Thrones Bros series are going to take place in 2 completely different time periods, such that, like, it's going to be irrelevant what the canon is for the Skywalker saga era.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
Like, it's going to be either so far in the future that, like, they're not going to need to care because, like, they'll only need to care about big events like there was an empire, and everything else, like, they could say it wrong and it's just, like, myth passing down. Or it's going to be so far before that none of it's happened yet.
Very true.
We shall see.
It'll be interesting. Of course, you know, what does that mean 20 years from now when more of these eras are built out?
When there's a prequel reboot 20 years from now and everyone loses their shit.
I know.
Oh my god.
Seriously, though. Oh my
40th
God.
anniversary of Phantom Menace, we're refilming it and making it better.
dude.
There would be riots.
Dude.
There would be riots, but also there would be celebration.
Yes.
I don't know.
That would
Maybe
that might
they'll
split
wait
the,
till everyone's dead that needs the prequels to do it.
I know, right? That might split the fandom more than Last Jedi.
Oh my god, shut up.
Right?
Jesus Christ. Do you want to talk about like favorite moments just being there?
Yeah,
Experience-wise?
I have one that I feel like all three of us share.
Yes.
Yes. I know. I don't even know what you're gonna say, but I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Should I be the one to tell
Yes.
it? So, as some of you know, or who have listened to the pod or follow us on Twitter, we are good friends with our wonderful @SouthernCynic on Twitter, who is, in addition to being just a lovely person and a
Perfect
you know,
grumpy angel.
perfect grumpy angel, really tremendous contributor and co-founder of Star Wars Rep Matters hashtag, and really big promoter of those campaigns every month. She is also the biggest Ray Sloan fan you will meet. Pretty much not a day goes by in which she doesn't tweet about Ray Sloan at some point. And rightfully so, Ray Sloan's amazing. But SC is obsessed with Ray Sloan. And one of the nice things that kind of blew my mind about Celebration, I don't know if you guys were expecting this, but like, you just see the people who work on Star Wars at the bar at night. Because everybody's staying in the same hotels, and you just see them because everybody's, hyped up from the day. Nobody can go to bed yet. And so you just see people walking around. Like our first night, we saw a bunch of the voice actors from Clone Wars.
Right, they're just hanging out.
Like just hanging out.
Because this is kind of like, I mean, it's almost like a family reunion for them too.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that's one of the cool parts of Celebration. And one night we saw John Jackson Miller walk by of A New Dawn fame, wrote Kenobi in Legends, wrote A Story in From a Certain Point of View, and Southern Cynic had to be there. And we like physically dragged her over to meet John Jackson Miller and, tell him what a huge fan she was. And he was the nicest person. He talked to her about his thinking when he was creating Ray Sloan, why he liked her so much as a creator, had a copy of A New Dawn that he signed for her, took a picture, and
Like,
it
of
was...
his own volition. Like, we didn't even ask him for anything. We just wanted to, like, for her to, like, be able to say hi to him.
Yeah, no, like, he just did all this as soon as we, like, got him in conversation. He just, like, wanted to talk to her. And
Right,
us.
he just, like, whipped a copy out of his bag and, like, signed it for her, and then, like, pulled out his iPad and was like, let's take a selfie. Like, the nicest man.
Yeah, it was just...
So adorable.
It was
I
just
know.
so pure.
And
it
she was just bawling. She was, like, so overcome. And it was, like, it was the sweetest thing. It was so good.
It was incredible. It was, like, honestly... And this can kind of go into my last point here about, like, the fandom and what, this was like for hashtag discourse and hashtag the fandom. But, like, it was just nice. Like, being online with Star Wars sucks sometimes. Like, I think we can all agree on. Like, you meet good people, like
Jess.
you find your friend, yeah, like Jess, you find your friends, you find your causes that are important, like Rep Matters, you find people to talk about, what you want to talk about. But overall, it sucks. And, like, it was just nice to meet all these people in person, and it was just an incredibly positive energy in the arena. I alluded to it before, but Kelly Marie Tran, who was famously forced off of social media by trolls, got the most extensive standing ovation of anybody in the episode 9 panel. And it's just...
Like, we heard Ahmet Best, like...
Ahmed Best was apparently incredibly well received at the Phantom Menace 20th anniversary panel. It was just nice. In this moment with John Jackson Miller, he was a gentleman. He was incredibly nice, and he may not know it, but he really made Southern Cynic's life, and it was fun to watch.
It was amazing. I cried. Just watching them interact. It was beautiful.
No, it was really lovely. I think so. I'm of two minds about this. I think, unfortunately, it's just a thing that happens that the people who are the loudest and like spew the most venom are the ones who get the most attention. So of course people have been paying a lot of attention to the quote unquote negativity in the Star Wars fandom, even though a lot of the negativity is just literally fucking sock puppet bot accounts from dickheads. But it was also at the same time like nice to be reminded that most Star Wars fans are not sock puppet Twitter accounts, you
Yeah.
know? Like, most of this fandom are, you know, people who fucking love Star Wars, who love the direction it's going in, who are passing on to their kids. Like, honestly, seeing, like, if you've listened to this podcast before, as you know, I don't like children. I just don't enjoy children, like, period. But, number one, so many well-behaved children at Celebration. Like, cons are stressful. If it were me, I'd be, like, on the floor screaming. But also, like, just seeing kids in cosplay was probably one of the most heartwarming things that I've ever seen. Like, just to see, I think this wasn't a child, but Chris and I happened to pass mother and daughter who were dressed as Brea and Leia.
Oh yeah, that was a
Oh my
lot.
god.
And it was the cutest thing. It was, and they were Asian too, so it was like even more heartwarming for me. I was just like, and for you, now that I'm telling you, of course, yes. And it was just,
I am Asian, if you don't know.
yes, Jess and I, very Asian. But it was just, it was lovely. It was just great to be in this atmosphere, and everyone was like super friendly, and, you know, for people who were like old veterans of Celebration, just like, you know, giving like noobs like us like tips on things. Like, we were in line for the store, and they were like, here's the deal with the store, like, this is what they're sold out of, just in case you were like, you know, we're like hoping to get these things. I was just like, and people were just nice. It was great. Like,
I didn't have one negative experience with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, literally everyone was lovely. Everyone was excited to be there and excited about Star Wars. And like, it was so, like you said, like with the kids, like it was so cute to see the kids walking around. And also there was tons of like old people there.
Yeah.
Who were just like, you know, they're obviously not on Twitter. Like, we don't see them, but they're there cosplaying and just as excited about all the old Star Wars stuff as they are the new Star Wars stuff. And it's like, we forget that there's this whole other world outside of like online fandom that
Totally.
loves this stuff just as much as we do. And it was a really nice reminder.
Absolutely, definitely. Like, you know, I'm not really on Twitter right now, and it's just like, you know, it was, I don't know, this is probably the best I felt about Star Wars, but also like about like fellow fans that I felt in like the longest time, and it's just so nice and refreshing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's definitely the best I've felt about being a Star Wars fan since Last Jedi came out. No
Right.
question.
Definitely.
It kind of makes me wonder, like, if we would have had a celebration last year, if that would have helped.
Ooh.
I've been thinking about that myself. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know.
I feel like it could have gone either way.
Yeah,
It could have
definitely.
been like fist fights breaking out on the convoy over Last Jedi. Or we just would have been like, I don't care, I love Star Wars, we're here. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is such a great question. I've been thinking about that a little bit myself. I really do wonder about that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously some of it's selection bias. Like, Celebration's not cheap, obviously. Very few people are going to spend the kind of money it takes to go to Star Wars Celebration to, like, boo people. Because no matter how much of a
bad
loser
time.
you are, shit costs money.
I don't know, man. The people who are attending were just really dead set on going to that shipping panel just to boo at Raylo.
Oh, God. But, so,
My
like,
God.
that's...
Well, all of us are far from being Raylo shippers, but even we were just
Everybody
like,
involved in that situation was wrong.
I know, right? Jeez. Fuck.
But, like, so, like, yes, some of it is self-selection bias, but, like, also, like, obviously there have been, like, academic studies that show that, like, a lot of the negativity on Star Wars Twitter is literally just fake. Like, it's like...
Twitter eggs.
It's not even trolls. It's literally fake
Like
people.
bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just sophisticated bots. And, like, I feel like people have a lot of trouble understanding the scale of that because it's fair to have, like, it's a problem that, like, we're dealing with this in American politics too. Like, it's just hard to imagine this scale. But, like, it was very evident that, like, not only are the positive voices the majority, it's not close.
Yeah, not at all.
Definitely. Totally.
How many does anyone know how many people attended?
I saw a figure at
65,000.
yeah, I saw
over the
65.
entire
Oh,
all
my
5
God.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes it apparently the fourth largest con in the country. And obviously it's a one
One fandom.
fandom con. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a different situation than San Diego and New York Comic Cons,
So it's
which are 1 and 2, I think.
Multi-fan.
so it's bonkers, man.
That's amazing.
Right?
Oh, that makes me feel even better. I love Star Wars, guys.
I know.
All right, I have one more question that's not on the outline before we sign off.
Oh God, what?
What do y'all expect from Star Wars Celebration Anaheim next year?
For it to not snow.
Yes.
Right?
You know what? I'm confident that you're exactly right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna suck at that. I honestly don't know, because after Rise of Skywalker, I don't know. Like, what's the big thing they're gonna be promoting? There's not gonna be films supposedly for another couple years. They're just gonna focus on television and books. I mean, I'm happy to just celebrate that stuff, but I really don't know
Yeah.
as far as like new stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't care either. I'm happy to just go and like hang out with everybody and love Star Wars all over again for a whole weekend too.
Totally. Dude, I mean,
So-
yeah, no, I mean, definitely one of the best, like, just, like, general, like, happy things, like, outside of the programming was just, like, being able to, like, physically, like, be with your people.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And-
I'm with you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, one thing that I was going to mention before that it fell out of my head because I had tequila is that, you know, in addition to the fans being nice, just, like, the people who are actually, like, involved in Star Wars, like, also so nice and generous with their time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I went and, like, flapped my mouth at Claudia Gray and probably said nothing that was English, and she was super nice about it, like, and she was, like, at a bar, like, just trying to have a drink like a normal, and I was just like, I'm so sorry for bothering you. I love you so much. Like,
Yeah, like Andy Gutierrez came over and talked to like a whole group of us for like 30 minutes.
Yes.
And it was yeah, like we ran into Claudia Gray in the elevator and she was acting like we were like her long lost
I
friends. Like,
know.
hey guys, how you doing? I was like, "Oh, hey.
no,
You're you."
I know. Right. Like, and it's just like, it's not only that, but like, it's just like, they are very obviously like, I mean, obviously they're going there because they're involved in Star Wars, but they're also there because they're fans. Like, which is why they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll totally like, you know, talk to you, hang out with you, whatever the fuck. And we're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kate, real quick, please tell the story about how you and Chris got a selfie with Christopher Sean.
Yes.
And what's his name?
Scott
At the
Lawrence.
pizza place?
Uh,
Scott Lawrence.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Jesus Christ, this is quite the story because it's so dumb. So we went out for deep dish one night and we went to Lou Malnati's, and it happened to be the same night when the voice cast for Resistance was having family dinner, and so we were standing around waiting for a table, and then all of a sudden, all the voice actors start pouring in. It was Christopher Sean and Scott Lawrence and Myrna Velasco and Susie McGrath and like all of, and you know, Donald Faison and all of them, and they just came in, and you know, Chris is very tall, so he could see them. I could not really, because I'm tiny. But he's just like, so don't look now, but behind me is like literally the entire cast of Resistance. So I'm there, like, quietly having a conniption in the corner, like about to spontaneously combust. And
Oh, I was not quietly having a conniption. I was like freaking out.
yeah, no, you were just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They are breathing the same air. And we're the most awkward people on the planet. So we're like shuffling over, like, to go stay next to them just on the off chance that they'll like, I don't know.
I was looking for a lull in the conversation because anxious baby that I am, I hate interrupting people to ask for, like, in these situations, to ask for selfies or ask for autographs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially because they're selling these things, so I'm just like, I'm sorry, but also like, I love you. So.
yeah, exactly. So I don't like to interrupt people, so I was like waiting for a lull in the conversation. So we were just like awkwardly standing around.
We're like literally just
Literally for like 15 minutes, I was watching you across the room, just standing there staring at him. It was pretty funny.
it was hysterical. Well, it's just this like, oh God, I hope he never listens to this episode. Christopher Sean is a beautiful man, like in person.
Oh my God.
Like he is,
yes.
he just looks like that, and I was just like, oh my God. And his partner is also very beautiful. So like I was being a bisexual disaster in the corner. And finally, Chris was just like, excuse me, can we get like a picture with you? And it was like, and they were like very nice about it, and I was just like, again, flapping my mouth. I don't know what I was saying. Like, I was, you know, just words. And so Chris pulls out his phone for him and me and Christopher Sean and Scott Lawrence to, like, be taking a selfie. And you know, Chris is tall. Like, Chris Vachon is pretty tall. Scott Lawrence is probably like an average sized human being. I'm a tiny human being. And so Chris is like trying to, Chris is notoriously bad at selfies,
I'm very bad at selfies.
which was surprising. It's always surprising to people because, like, you know, you're tall, so you have a decent angle and you have very long arms, so you should be good at selfies, and yet you are fucking terrible at them.
I'm very bad.
And so he pulls out his phone and he's trying to take a fucking selfie. And he keeps cutting me off. Like, literally, it was like him and the two guys and my fucking forehead. And and Scott Lawrence and Christopher Sean are just like, dude, you're cutting her off. What are you doing, man? And like, just like fucking giving him shit. And I'm just like crying because like I was literally explaining it's Chris Swift on Twitter about how you take terrible selfies. He's like, I don't understand how. And so you post this picture and with the caption about like, thanks for your time, like, also for acknowledging my terrible selfie skills. And Chris Swift, number one, like, when we saw him later that evening, was like, I thought you were kidding, but oh my god, apparently it's true. Christopher Sean said it. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then, like, second of fucks, Christopher Sean found this picture, commented on it, and goes, ha 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 ha, it was so funny, exclamation point. Which is like, I want to frame that and put it on my wall. Because not only, you got roasted, like, in person and also on Instagram by fucking Christopher Sean.
I know. It's both a highlight and a low light, to be honest.
It was the, you know what, might have been a better day than our wedding for me, so, you know what? I had a great time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And just to start wrapping it up, everybody who's involved with Star Wars is just so nice, like, and so generous with their time. From all the authors who, like, spent so much time signing books and
I, like, threw a pin in DJO's face, and it was just like, hi,
yeah,
I love
like,
you,
talking
bye.
to us after panels. Like Kate said, Claudia Gray, you know, talked to us at the bar and was just incredibly, you know, kind and just, like, you know, didn't rush us away at all, even though she obviously had shit that she wanted to do. Christopher Sean and Scott Lawrence, incredibly nice. Like,
Probably so hungry.
yeah, honestly, because there was like an hour wait. So probably extremely hungry, but like just incredibly nice. You know, I know other people had interactions with various other people involved in Star Wars, and like, you know, kind of like you said, Jess, with like the con goers, you didn't have a negative experience. I didn't hear of anybody having a negative experience with any of the like quote unquote celebrities either. So like, just like shouts to everybody involved in Star Wars. Just like remembering why you do it and that you do it because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Amen.
Totally.
And with that, before we go, Jess, do you want to tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at SpaceJess with 4 S's in the Jess. I have a Star Wars podcast called Lousy Beautiful Town. That's great. And actually, we didn't mention this, but we did have an SW Rep Matters panel.
Oh, yeah.
At Celebration.
Yes, very important.
I just realized we didn't mention that. That was great, by the way. But if you didn't get to listen to or go to it, we have the audio up at Lousy Beautiful Town. So if you want to go listen to that, go do that. And I also have an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast that Chris will not listen to because he's not a good friend.
Whoa! Whoa!
Dude! Listen, you are not allowed to be outraged because I've literally told you, oh, you can watch this episode and then you can listen to Justice Podcast. And you're like, yeah, okay. And then you don't do it.
No, I need... Okay. All right.
We had a conversation about this when we were brushing our teeth in the bathroom, so it's fine. We're cool.
We did. We did. I'm pretty sure we were also both very drunk.
Yes, I think so.
Thank God. Oh, my
Anyway,
Lord.
I have an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast called Project Tahiti that's on the But Why Though network. So if you're into that, go listen to that too. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. And thanks to Jess for joining us. And also thanks to everybody who came and said hi and hung out with us at Celebration. It was so nice to like meet all these people who we like and talk to on a regular basis from... And, like, I'm almost hesitant to start shouting people out because I'm going to forget people. But from, obviously, Shannon Joy 26, our wonderful fourth roommate of the nap room, to our pod parents at the Tashi Station Radio Network, Brian and Nancy, like, a bunch of other Tashi Station Patreon people, from Charles to Daniel to Bria, obviously, we see here in the area, but like I'm already forgetting people.
Robin, who
but,
has the flu.
yeah, Robin, like
Who
all
knows?
these people who like we talked to.
Everyone in House
but, like
Finalizer.
finally got to meet everybody in House Finalizer,
Obviously.
Southern Cynic,
Oh my god.
Katrina, IV Wall on Twitter, Ritz, Rob Mayhem,
Thank
Rob
God
Mayhem,
for Rob.
I know.
Emily Waby.
Emily Waby,
Like,
Tom. Finally got to meet the infamous Tom in person. See how big his hair truly is.
oh my God, shut up. Hate you.
And plenty. The Rogue Pod crew, Meg, Danny, Heath, and Saf. I didn't actually talk to Saf, I'm realizing, but I saw her. I talked to the rest of the Rogue Pod crew.
Oh my God. 8,000
and
people we were
your
forgetting.
your co-host Abby Gleason, like all these people who we talked to. It's amazing to finally meet them in person, and thank you all for. If you're a listener and you came to introduce yourself and I didn't mention you, A, sorry, but B, thank you, because it actually means a lot to us when people when we talk to people and they're like, oh, we listen to your podcast.
Which, like, first of all, why? So
Yeah, that's
thank you.
that's on you, but
I mean, I listen to your podcast and I like it, so.
That's because you are a good friend.
seems fake, but okay.
Oh.
Womp womp. And since we have two of the Star Wars Rep Matter panelists on this pod, like, thank y'all for coming out. And we were pleasantly surprised by the 0 hecklers we got. So,
Yeah, it was a great panel.
yeah.
We're going to, undetermined how, but we're either going to get the audio and put it up through our feed or just retweet the shit out of Lousy Beautiful Town's
I
feed.
already did that.
Did you? Okay, great.
What kind of a motherfucker do I look like? A lazy one?
Well, I know we were talking about putting the raw audio on our feed, but
Man.
I have it. You can have it if you want.
Oh, shit. Okay.
anyway, all right.
I got it.
I thought this was going to be a short episode. It is not.
Keeks is gonna, thank God you're editing, because Kristen would be like, oh my God, I'm having an aneurysm right now.
Yo, if y'all are listening to this, I hope you enjoyed the hour 45-minute Empire's End wrap up, because Kristen was supposed to edit it and she was going to cut it into 2, but then she moved last week and didn't, and has been dealing with that all week. And so I edited it and I did not cut it in 2 because fuck that.
That's effort, and
So I hope you all enjoyed. Anyway, thank you for listening. We're going to be back later this week with the rest of the Book Wars pod crew to analyze some of the trailers that we saw and do a little bit of a deep dive. So don't miss that. Then next week, we're back to our normal schedule. We're going to be reading Battlefront Twilight Company by Alexander Freed. We're going to be reading the start of the book through chapter 7, and hope you'll join us. In the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at BookWarsPod. Email us at bookwarspod@gmail.com. And rate, review, and subscribe to us and the Tashi Station Radio mega feed. It is the best way for more people to discover the show, short of me throwing pins at them on the con floor.
shout out.
Or leaving them in the bar.
Yeah,
Meeting
leaving
them
them
in
in
the
the
bar.
bar. Shout out to Ritz for picking those up for us, because I was too high to remember.
Oh, another great way to meet us, which I forgot to plug at the top, is as you're listening to this,
Oh, yeah.
this coming weekend, Kate and I are going to be at AwesomeCon in DC, talking about Star Wars with a panel. The guests, I think we mentioned last week, we're going to have Bria from Tashi Station. We're going to have E.K. Johnston, author of Ahsoka and Queen Shadow. We're super excited. We are very close to locking down a 5th guest who I'm incredibly excited about. We don't have final confirmation yet, so I don't want to say, but if you're in the area, highly recommend you come to this panel. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Jess will tell you after. Who it is.
Oh my god.
Anyway, if you are so inclined and have the means, please donate to the Tashi Station Radio Patreon and give us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod.
Thanks for paying for our new microphones and mixers, patrons, by the way, which we are not
Which we are not using yet, but we will.
because we don't understand how they work, but we'll figure it out.
We will. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Butera Design. For Kate, for Space Jess, for a very sniffly and congested Chris, thank you for listening.
You are Chris.
I know.
Fucking fuck.
I am. I'm a person and my name is Chris. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you for listening to Book Wars
NyQuil,
Pod. We'll talk to you
guys.
later.
Oh my God. Chris, why are you this?
Because I'm great.
No.